recording കൊടുത്തിട്ടില്ല. Yeah.
Good afternoon to all. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this seminar on lectures on intellectual traditions of Kerala. Today's session features the first lecture titled Jaiminīya Tradition of Sāmaveda in Kerala, Overview of an Endangered Traditions. The Jaiminīya tradition of the Sāmaveda represents a rare and valuable part of our cultural and scholarly legacy. As it faces the threat of decline, discussions like these became all the more important in preserving and understanding our rich traditions. We are deeply honored to have with us Dr. C.M. Neelakandhan, former professor of Sree Sankaracharya, Sanskrit University, Kalady, a distinguished scholar whose contributions to Vedic studies and Kerala's intellectual heritage are truly remarkable. I warmly welcome our respected speaker and all the participants to this enriching academic gathering. We are especially delighted to warmly welcome our esteemed guests and scholars from Japan to this session. Your presence adds great value to this academic gathering, and we are truly honored to have you with us. I hope today's lecture will inspire meaningful insights and thoughtful discussions. Sir, please.
Sadashiva Samarambham Sankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parambaram. Good afternoon to all. First of all, I thank the organizers of Deepika project, Hugo David, Olga, S.A. Sharma, and my friends scholars of the Deepika project in the Thrissur Brahmaswam Madham for giving me an opportunity to deliver these lectures. Also, as Rashmi in the introductory remarks has stated, young scholars from Japan, all of you, it is a rare occasion for us, and we are encouraged as well as blessed with your presence. You can closely follow the lecture, take notes, and interact in points if you need in the conclusion, in the concluding part end of the lecture. The topic assigned to me or given to me is a very important topic, Jaiminīya Tradition of Sāmaveda in Kerala. Overview of an endangered, that word is very important, endangered. The tradition is in danger. Many traditions like these are in danger. Due to one reason or other. And our common combined effort should be there to revive or to restore or to preserve such traditions which are the intellectual wealth of the whole humanity, not only Kerala, not only India, but the whole world. And I know scholars from Japan are very keen in these aspects. Ascoperpola, etc. we know very well. Perpola from 1975 onwards, I know very well. I think you know Ascoperpola, great scholar from Japan, who was one of the main organizer of the 1975 Athiratra, organized in the village of Panyal near Thrissur in Kerala. The unique Athiratra Yaga of Kerala Nambudiri tradition, organized after so many years of, before that, many years before, one such yaga was organized. After that, it was in a stage of extinction. Yaga tradition, even in Kerala, was in a stage of extinction. And it is an international community of scholars. You know the history headed by Professor J.F. Stahl, who organized the international committee of scholars, organized the Athiratra for 12 days in the Panyal village in Thrissur district, about 30-40 kilometers from the place you are now sitting. And that Panyal village is called Sama village, Sāmaveda village. That Panyal village is called Sāmaveda village because 5 families of Jaiminīya Sāmaveda of Kerala are settled there. Muttattukattil Mana, Nellikattil Mana, Thotam Mana, Perumangattu Mana, Korattikkara Mana. 5 families. I will give the details afterwards. So these 5 families in a village, it is very unique. So that Panyal village has many unique peculiarities. So the yaga was organized there by the international committee headed by Professor Stahl and Masacho, Ascoperpola. Many scholars were there. And the proceedings of the yaga has been published internationally by Professor J.F. Stahl in 2 big volumes. And the volumes, the book is entitled Agni, in 2 big volumes, large volumes. One volume contains full proceedings of the 12 days of Athiratra Yaga, complete proceedings. Other volume contains detailed study on the tradition of yagas, Vedic tradition and yagas, Kerala Vedic tradition and yagas, history of yaga in Kerala. And it is much documented that everyone should go through, study the 2 volumes. There is a list of complete yagas and the yagas organized in Kerala for about 100 years before 1975 in that volume. And many important research articles of learned scholars regarding Kerala Vedic tradition, Kerala Yaga tradition, etc. So from that attempt, that event onwards, the international community of scholars have been attracted to Kerala more. Even before there were attempts, but after organizing this Athiratra Yaga internationally and publishing the proceedings in 2 big volumes, more studies and attentions are there to bring out, to do research on the salient features of Yaga tradition. So 2-3 lectures in the series I will be presenting on the particular topic. So first of all, before coming to the Jaiminīya Tradition of Sāmaveda and its present endangered state of affairs, I will just come to 1 or 2 points related to the Sāmaveda tradition in general. Now you see in the earlier references regarding Vedas, in many significant references, we have the terminology Trayi, Veda Trayi. What is Trayi? Trayo, 3 Vedas. Now, generally, we say 4 Vedas, Rik, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. But in early references, we have the statement or terminology, the reference Trayi, that is 3 Vedas only. Rik, Yajur, and Sama. How? What is the significance of the word terminology Trayi? Because after the 4 Samhitas or after the Samhitas were compiled, we will come by the historical legendary scholar we call Vyasa. Generally, it is accepted that it is Vyasa who edited the mantras of Vedas into 4 titles. So before that, there might have been mantras of Vedas composed by different rishis and their members of the family, all great scholars like Vishwamitra, Vasishtha, Vamadeva, Atri, so many rishis, names of rishis we meet with in the Vedic hymns. So they might have composed the riks of many kinds related to various topics. And for centuries, the Rishi Parampara, they were composing. Actually, there is another point for your knowledge. The Veda mantras are accepted as not written or composed by the rishis, but they are accepted as revealed by the rishis. Revelation, revealed. Because according to the tradition, it is accepted, believed that Veda mantras are there permanently in the atmosphere, in the sky, in the world, in the intellect of human beings. And even in the disaster of the whole cosmos, in the yugas, the Veda mantras in the form of sounds will not disappear, will not be disturbed. So it will be there. And after one yuga, in the next yuga, the rishis in their revelation, with their 7th faculty, 5 senses, 6th mind, 7th the power of revelation, Andardrishti, Andardarishana, internal organ we call it, and it is only the gift of the human beings, not any other. Till human beings, up to Nara, only 6 faculties are there. Panchindriyas, Bahindriyas, and 6 manas. The 7th one is the special gift given to human beings in the order of creation, Srishti Prakriya, by the God. It is very, very important. So many dimensions that statement has. Anyhow, the rishis, with their internal faculty of revelation, they reveal the Veda mantras are revealed to them in the beginning of every yuga. That is the concept. So they are not newly written. So we call rishis as mantra drashtaraha. Mantra drashtaraha. They see, they see the mantras and record it and they transfer to the next generation. How they see through their revelation, through the power of their revelation. So rishis are mantra drashtaraha, natu mantra srashtaraha. They have not written, they have not created the mantras. That is a different perspective regarding the mantras. So these Veda mantras were there composed by different rishis in different places of our country and in different centuries, in different periods. They were laying distracted here and there in the minds of rishis. So it is Vyasa who, for the first time, collected all the mantras, and he made them into 4 heads. Actually, what we call the editing that we are now doing, it's actually the editing that we are now doing. There will be thousands of mantras. There are more than 10,000 mantras in Rig Veda, about 2,000 mantras in Samaveda. So, collecting all the mantras of Vedas, he edited the mantras into 4 heads. Rig, whatever common features are seen are there in the rigs, in the mantras. They are collected and put under the head Rig Veda. Actually, the modern terminology editing he has done, he must have done. So, Yajurveda, mantras related to ritual proceedings. The other mantras related to praise of gods and praise of deities of different types. Related to Tyaga rituals, Yajus. Related to Gana form in mantras, Sama. So now we come to the point that actually in Yaga ritual tradition, the mantras of the 3 Vedas are in use. Atharva Veda mantras are not used in Yagas. Be very important. The Atharva Veda mantras have no use in Yagas. So Vedahi Yajñartham Upapravrtaha. There is a statement. Vedas have been formed for the use of Yagas. One statement. Different statements are there. So for Yagas, only 3 Vedas are, the mantras of 3 Vedas are in use. Rig, Yajus and Sama. That is why in the early literature, the terminology Trayi is there. Rig, Yajus and Sama. Many of you know, all of you may know that there are 4 chief priests in Yagas and 4 assistants to all the 4 priests. And there are totally 16 priests, main priests in Yagas. Shodasha, Ritvija. And the four main priests are Hoda, Udgada, Adharyu, Brahman. The four main priests. Hoda, Udgata, Adharyu, Brahman. Hoda, one who worships, homa, offerings to the gods. Hoda, one who gives offerings, worships of many kinds as part of Vedic homas. Hoda. Hoda, four chief ritviks, one among the four chief ritviks, Hoda, he is related to Rigveda. Udgata, next. The word itself signifies the importance of Gana, music, the Udgata, Gana, Udgata. One who recites the mantras in musical tone, Udgata. Udgata is related to Sama. Then Adharyu. Adharyu, the Tirukri, etymology of the word Adharyu is Adhvaram Yagam Yunakri Yojayati Idi Adharyuhu. Adhvaram Yagam Yunakri Yojayati Idi Adharyu. There are many types of proceedings, many days of proceedings, multi types of proceedings are there in yagas. The rituals for all the four main priests, then the rituals for the assistants for each. So, and the many other connected rituals and proceedings of yagas. So there must be someone to control, to unite, to control all these proceedings. Then only the yaga performance will move smoothly. Who will do that? That is Adharyu. All the rituals he is thorough, and where to do which ritual, what to do in that particular ritual, how to do the ritual, when to do the ritual. All these things are very thorough. So Adharyu is a we can see in the modern way, he's a director of the cinema, like that. He is the director. In Sanskrit dramas, we have Sutradhara, who controls all the characters, when to come on the stage, when to go out from the stage, who to come, how to move, to which path, to which is Akasha Vashida, which is Janantika, all these things, Sutradhara. So in the place of Sutradhara, in Yaga we have Adharyu. Actually, there is the Yaga, the dramatic presentation is equated with the Yaga presentation by Bharata, Kalidasa, etc. Devanam idam amanantimanaya shantam kratum chakshusham. Kalidasa in Madhavika Mitra says, dramatic presentation is Kratu itself. Kratu, Yaga itself, and it satisfies our senses, especially eyes and mind, and all, and it imparts rasa, whereas in yaga, no such rasa is it is ritual. So Adharyu, he is related to Yajurveda. Then we have the Brahman, fourth. He is considered as overall authority of the whole proceedings of yagas. Overall authority means he has a control over not only rituals or the chief priest who controlled rituals at the review. Not only that, he has control over, or he has to control Udgata and Hoda and all the assistants. So he must be his overall authority, supervisor, we can say. Wherever some errors come, no, this is not so. Errors may come. Errors not only to Udgata, not only to Hoda, not only to Adharyu, not only to the assistants, to any part, anywhere. So here, Brahman is considered as overall authority of the whole proceedings of Yaga, with the full knowledge of all Vedas and Srauda proceedings. So this is the distribution of work or assignment of work to the main four chief priests in Yagas. So in this design, no Atharva Veda is there. That is the significance. In this design, no Atharva Veda is there. Also, we have the reference, Trayi only. Trayi. Trayaha Trata. Trayaha Trata. Now the avataras of gods, Malsya Kurma Varaha, they are in one sense taken as assumed by the god Vishnu for the protection of the Vedas. For the protection of Vedas. So totally or generally, God Mahavishnu who takes the 10 avataras is called the protector of Trayi, three Vedas. Trata, one who protects. Trayah Trata. Also kings are kings of the world also, because they also protect the Vedas in one. So, but it is more used related to God Vishnu, who took the 10 avataras basically to protect Vedas and to rule the or give happiness to the world. Trayim Adhigatavata. Another Trayim Adhigatavata. One who has mastered, one who has studied the Trayi. So, based on all these, it can be considered that the fourth one, basically there were three Vedas. The fourth one, Atharva Veda, was added to the scheme later. And the concept of four Vedas became prominent. This is the history of the design of Vedas before Vyasa. That you should understand. This is the history of the scheme of Vedas before Vyasa. At the time of Vyasa itself, the scheme of four Vedas has come. So the yagas may have been prevalent with all importance before that, where Atharva Veda mantras are not used at all. But after Vyasa, including Atharva Veda in the scheme, even then Atharva Veda mantras are not used in yagas, even now. Even now, only these three mantras of the three Vedas are used in yagas. So, after the division of Vedas into four by Vyasa, though Atharva Veda is not represented in yagas with the mantras, what happened? Indirectly, Atharva Veda also must be given representation in yagas. So what happened? So the priest Brahman, he began to be considered as a representation of Atharva Veda. He began to be considered as the representation of Atharva Veda. Though the mantras of Atharva Veda are not used in the yagas. So this is how the 4 Vedas evolved under the what we can call the editorship of Vyasa. Now, coming to Samaveda, according to the tradition, Bhagavan Vedavyasa compiled and edited the Veda mantras that we have discussed today, dividing them into 4, Rik, Yajus, Sama, and Atharva. Before that, we get the names of many seers who composed the hymns of all mantras. I have stated and described that they were compiled and edited by Vyasa. So even before Vyasa, there were mantras or hymns composed by many seers like Vishwamitra, Vasishtha, Vamadeva. Each mandala of Rigveda is assigned to each Rishi. It was left to Parashara Vyasa or Veda Vyasa to arrange the hymns in a systematic manner for the benefit of the prosperity. The name Vyasa, the legendary figure Vyasa, he has many names. He is famous as Krishna. He is the black. His color may be black. He is famous as Dvaipayana, related to Dweep, island, sometimes. He is sometimes called Parashara. Many names are there. And another most significant name to this legendary figure is Vyasa. And this name came famous because he has divided the whole Veda mantras into 4 heads. Vivyasa Vedan. Vivyasa, divided, separated. Vivyasa Vedan. He separated the Vedas into 4. Vivyasa iti Vyasaha. Vivyasa Vedan, Yasmal. Because of the reason he has separated the Veda mantras into 4 heads, edited Veda mantras into 4 heads, he began to be called Veda Vyasa. Accordingly, he taught them the Veda mantras. He taught them to his 5 students: Paila, Rigveda; Vaishambhayana, Yajurveda; Jaimini, Samaveda; Subantu, Atharva Veda; and the 5th, Romaharshana, Itihasas and Puranas. How or why that happened? The other 4 Vedas directly. Then the 4 Vedas, the Veda mantras are accessible only to the high intellectual community only. Even those who know the Sanskrit, the Veda mantras and the content, the meaning, the vision of the Veda mantras are accessible to high intellectual level people only. So the use of Veda mantras should be to the common people also. Their common people may mean those people who know Sanskrit but not in the intellectually high level. So for them, Vyasa requested his student, fifth student, Ramaharshana, to compose Itihasas and Puranas to disseminate, to propagate the ideals of Veda. Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedartham Upabrimhayel. Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedartham. Through Itihasas and Puranas, the content of the Vedas, the meaning of the Vedas may be disseminated, may be made accessible to the common people. That is the fifth. So, Itihasas and Puranas are as equal as important as four Vedas. So, this is how Vyasa has, the legendary figure Vyasa has worked for the integration of the knowledge systems of Vedas, making it accessible to the different levels of to the people with the different levels of intellectual capacity. They transmitted this knowledge to their disciples, again to their disciples, who Shishya, the knowledge reaches to me, and I try to impart the knowledge to my students. They try to impart to their students, and the process continues, and the knowledge is here permanently pervading the intellectual air of the universe. Not only Kerala, not only India, but the whole universe. That is how Japan scholars have come here to attend this lecture today and to study the significance and content of Vedas. So, this is how Samaveda, thus the origin of Samaveda as a separate Veda, as we get it now, can be attributed to the legendary figure Vyasa and his disciple Jaimini. Vyasa got the name Veda Vyasa, as I explained, because it was he who codified, edited, and divided the Vedas into 4. Now, what is the meaning of the word Sama? Generally, the word Sama means stuti, or musical composition in stuti form. Different meanings are there for the word Sama. Generally, it is stuti or musical composition in stuti form. Thus, it is clear that Samaveda has much relation to music. Scholars have explained the word Sama based on different other derivative meanings also. According to one opinion, the word Sama has derived from the root Sa, meaning to destroy, Sha meaning to destroy, Sho Andakarmani, Sho, the root Sha, Andakarma, destroy, the action of destroying. Thus, it means that the chanting of the Veda destroys all evils and sins. Another derivation. Panini derives the word from the root Sama, Sam, meaning to soothe or give comfort. Another derivation. Sama Santva Prayoge, Sama Santvane, soothing, consoling. It means that through the melodies of the music, the Veda, while chanting or when hearing, attending, soothes the hurt or gives comforts of all kind to the mind. Hearing the Samaganas. In the coming lectures, we will give some examples, show some examples of the chanting of Samas in different levels, which is highly musical to the both derivations, fitting to the both derivations, highly musical as well as highly delighting to, soothing to the mind, ear and mind. While chanting or when hearing the Sama mantras soothes the heart or gives comforts of all kinds to the mind. Next, still another derivation is from the word syati, which means that it destroys all worries by the musical melodies. Syati, chinatti, cuts away, destroys. Syati, chinatti, dukkham, gayatval. When we have deep mental agony, what we will do? We will shift to hearing music or singing something, though we are only alone, to release our emotional stress, to release our emotions. In cinema, etc., in parts of high mental stress or emotion, background music or direct music will be given. Sandvane. No, the Syati Chinatti Dukkham Gayatval. Syati Khandayati Dukkhani Yena. Iti Sama. Some give the meaning sorrow or pain to the root Syati. Dukkham. One meaning for Syati. Another sorrow, pain. Another meaning for Syati. Both are almost the same. And with the hint that it is very difficult or painful to learn Sama. So the learning of Sama is very difficult. In that way also, some explain the word. So 5, 6, 7 derivations. This is how analytically thinking we go deep into the different aspects of our ancient knowledge. The word also means that the gods are pleased by hearing the chanting of Sama. Samayati devan iti Sama. The word Sama is the combination of the words Sa and Ama. This is referred to in Aitareya Brahmana, Atharva Veda, and Brihadaranyaka Upanishads. According to Sayana Bhashya, Sa means to the mantras of Riks and Ama refers to the swaras or accents of Riks chanted. In many contexts in Rigveda, the word Sama is referred to. Rigveda in many contexts. Angirasam Samabhistoyamanaha Samaga iva Gayatranja Traishtubhancha Udgateva Samagayasi Shuddhena Samna Indraya Brihat Samagayata Angiraso na Samabhi. Many references. Now, according to Mahabhashya of Patanjali, very famous work, all of you should know Atharva, or all of you should be familiar, or all of you are familiar, I think. There is one reference to in Mahabhashya Patanjali that Samaveda had 100 recensions. Some 100 Sahasra Vartama. 1,000 recensions. Sahasra Vartama, paths, ways, divisions, recensions. Samaveda had 1,000 recensions. In Mahabhashya, Ekashatam Adhirya Shakha. Adhirya Shakha. Adhirya Veda means Yajurveda. it is said there itself that Yajurveda has 108 shakhas, Eka Shatam. Ega Vimshadi Bahuruchyam, 21 Yajurveda shakhas. Navadha Atharvana. Atharva Veda has 9 branches, 9 divisions. It is all said, referred to in Mahabhashya. Samaveda having 1000 shakhas is referred to in Vishnu Purana, Sahasra Samhita Bhedam, and Charana Vyuha, Tatra Samavedasya Shakha Sahasramasid. In Charana Vyuha, among the 1000 shakhas, Pranayaniya, Satyamukhya, Kapila, Mahakapila, Kauthuma, and Langalaga are referred to by their names. 1000. Some names of the shakhas are given. The subdivisions of the shakhas of Kauthuma, 6 in number, are also referred to in some texts which are Sarayaniya, Vadarayaniya, Vaidhrita, Prachina, Taijasa, and Anishka. These are our only references. No such shakhas are available now. We are not getting any such shakhas or sub-shakhas. Maybe they may have been prevalent at that time. We don't know. And in course of time, they might have been lost, endangered in course of time. In the text, Samatarpana Vidhi, names of 13 shakhas of Samaveda are given. Again, another reference. Pranayaniya, Satyamugriya, Vyasa, Bhaguri, Alundi, Gaulguli, Bhanumana, Aubamanyava, Karati, Mashaka Gargya, Varshagavya, Kuthuma, and Shalihotra. And I have given the reference, Samaveda with Hindi commentary. It is there. Damodar Satwalekar is a very great scholar. Swadhyaya Mandal, Surat 1963, Bhumika, page 7. In this way, there are various references getting regarding the shakhas. My recent work, Sanskrit and Indological Studies, New Perspectives, contain two large articles regarding all these topics. Again, now we reach 13 or 8, 9 or 13 shakhas only. Then what will be the relevance of the reference of 1000? There are many opinions. 1000 means a number of, because in colloquial language, in the ordinary language, we use how many books we have, thousands of books, not the exact number 1000. That means many books I have with me in that way. So many shakhas may be in that sense. Anyhow, among these, only 3, Kauthum, Jaiminīya, Kauthuma, and Ranayaniya are preserved and getting now 3 shakhas of Samaveda only. Pushpa Sutra, a Pratishakhya of Samaveda, refers to 2 more shakhas of it as current. That in the time of Pushpa Sutra, recently, the 2 more shakhas, that is Kalabhavi and Satyayani. But the continuation of which has been lost, it seems. Pushpa Sutra 3 plus 2. 5 shakhas are referred to, but they are not getting. Kalabhavinapi pravachana vihitaswara swadhyaye tatha shatyayinam. There is a reference, but not at all getting. Kauthuma and Ranayaniya are current even now in Karnataka, Maharashtra, Andhra, and Bengal. Kauthuma and Ranayaniya are current even now in Karnataka, Maharashtra, Andhra, and Bengal. Kauthuma is otherwise known as Chandoga in Karnataka, Andhra, etc. Chandogas, the Sama scholars belonging to Kauthuma, Chandoga. And the other name of Jaiminīya is Talavagara. Chandoga and Talavagara, other names for Kauthuma and Jaiminīya. There is no much textual variation regarding Kauthuma and Ranayaniya shakhas, but there are differences in accents while chanting. Compared to Kauthuma and Ranayaniya, Jaiminīya Shakha is very different in the arrangement of the text, sequence of rigs, division of chapters, and chanting. Generally, we should understand that there are differences in the arrangement of texts of all these. More than that, there are differences in the way of chanting, style of chanting of mantras of all these branches in different places, particularly in Kerala and other states in India. That is very important. That is why Kerala Vedic chanting is considered as unique. Not only Jaiminīya Sama, but Rigveda and Yajurveda also. Jaiminīya Shakha has two main divisions. The one practiced by the Nambudris of Kerala and the other practiced by Tamil Brahmins. Nambudiri Jaiminīya is now prevalent in the village, is now prevalent in the village Panyal in Thrissur districts. We cannot say now because was prevalent, we have to use the past tense because I will come to that. When we in Sankaracharya University, Kalady in 90s, 95 to 2015, within 90 to 2015, about 15 years, we took a very hard task to document the Kerala Jaiminīya Sama because it was in the stage of extinction at that time. Now the documented matter for 95 hours is there in the Sankaracharya University. We will come to that. So 95, 98, 2012, 2015, this is how the documentation in different phases have been done and completed. At that time, there were 5 Nambudhiris in 4 Sama families of Panyar. I have referred to 5 Sama families in Panyar. Among the 5 Sama families, in one, the lineage has been cut, or the lineage has been dropped from 2 or 3 generations even before that. When the documentation was decided and documentation was started, there were scholars in 4 families, 5 scholars in 4 families. Actually, 5 families were there: Muttattukattil Mana, Nellikattil Mana, Perumangattamana, Korattikkaramana, and Thottam. In Korattikkaramana, when the documentation was started, even before 10-20 years before that, the tradition has been lost. In the other 4 families, Muttattukattil Mana, Nellikattil Mana, Perumangattu Mana, Thottam Mana, there were scholars at that time who were above 70s and nearing 80s at that time. So to 1995, let us take 1995, 95, 2005, 2015, now 2025. So now if they are surviving, they should be about more than 100. No one is there now. Till the documentation was over, they were living in good condition. So 5 scholars were there. Thottam preserved the tradition, but it is in the state of extinction now, these 5 scholars. After that, we will give a detailed account of the documentation process later, if possible in this lecture or in the series next. So there were only 5 scholars. Now there are 2 scholars in the tradition. They are also around 60s now. From Thottamana, one Krishan Nambudiri and one Shivakaran Nambudiri. But they can chant some parts of some portions of the Jaiminīya Sama. Not they are able to chant the full text in all modes of chanting. Jaiminīya of Tamil Brahmana tradition is more vogue, and many are practicing it even now. Tamil Jaiminīya tradition is more vogue. There is a Gurukula running for Jaiminīya of Tamil tradition at Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu under the Guru Magarabhushanam Iyengar, and one at the village of Kodundarapalli near Palakkad in Kerala under the Guru Thiruvenkadanatha Sharma. This Thiruvenkadanatha Sharma and Magarabhushanam, they are very old now. Thiruvenkadanatha Sharma is even 90 plus 96 or something like that. Then in Vishnu Purana, there is a reference to the Shakhas and Acharyas of Sāmaveda. That is not much importance. I will just read it quickly. Sāmaveda daro Shakhaha Vyasa Shishya Sa Jaimini Ramena Yena Maitreya Bibheda Srinu Tanmama Sumandus Tasya Putro Bhuts Sugarmasyapya Bhul Sutaha Adhita Vandau Chaikegam Samhidam Tau Mahamadi Sahasradam Hida Bhedam Sugarma Tal Sutastata Chagara Tamcha Tachitshyau Jagrihate Mahavradau Hiranyanabha Kausalya Paushpinjincha Dvijottama Uditya Samaga Shishyaha Tasya Panjashatam Smrtaha Hiranyanabha Tavatya Samhida Yair Dvijottamaihi Grihidas Tevi Chochinde Pandidaihi Prachya Samagaha Lokakshir Naudhamischaiva Kakshivan Langalis-tatha Paushpinji Shishyaha Tadbhedaihi Samhidaha Bahulikritaha Hiranyanabha Shishyastu Chadurvimshati Samhitaha Provacha Kridinamasau Shishyebhyascha Mahamuni Taischapi Samavedosau Shakhabhe Bahulikrita. This general statement regarding the many shakhas and transmission of the shakhas from generation to generation. In the introduction to Shatapada Brahmana, reference to the shakhas of Samaveda are given. According to that, there are 2 lineages for the shakhas of Samaveda called Brahma Sampradaya and Aditya Sampradaya. That is also not now continuing. These two Sampradayas are also not continuing. The Kauthuma recension also has two branches, Prajina Kauthuma and Navina Kauthuma. The four Prajina, ancient and Navina modern. The former is also called Paribhasha Patha. Prajina Kauthuma, Paribhasha Patha, which is not preserved now. Again, endangered. The Prajina Kauthuma of Sama is not at all preserved now. There were scholars in Prachina Kauthuma in the village Putukkod near Palakkad in Kerala. Palakkad near Thrissur, one and a half hour journey. And before reaching Palakkad, there is a village of Tamil Brahmins, Putukkod. And there was a tradition of Prachina Kauthuma. They were the descendants of Kauthuma Shakha Brahmanas of Maharashtra. This is very significant because Maharashtra Brahmins were settled in the Pudukkod village in Palakkad, and they retained the original Kauthuma chanting tradition in that particular village only. What happened is that when the Nayak emperors conquered Maharashtra, they imposed their style of chanting of Sama, and that is called Navina Kauthuma chanting, which is very different. The Pudukkod village scholars claim that that is the pure, pristine style of chanting of Kauthuma of Tamil Brahmins, but that is not at all preserved now. So the Pudukkod village Kauthuma Brahmanas were the descendants of Kauthuma Shakha Brahmins of Maharashtra, the original Kauthuma chanting followers. For some reason, historical, social, and cultural, they happened to get settled in the Pudukkod village under the Palakkad kings, and they preserved the Prachina Kauthuma with its pristine purity. Pandit Gopala Vadhyar was the last scholar in the tradition who passed away some decades ago, not some years, some decades ago, without having any disciples to continue the tradition. An audio-video cassette of the Prachina Kauthuma chanting of Pudukkad Gopala Vadhyar only is now available as an example of the tradition. So Kerala, Tamil Brahmins special unique tradition of Prachina Kauthuma, endangered. Endangered. Already not available now. Cassette is with me, that audio, but very short period of time of chanting. But that is an example. As an example, we can show that, we can hear that. But the whole Kauthuma Sama chanting of Prajina style, which is considered as pristine, pure, it is not available. In the meantime, the Kauthuma style of Maharashtra and other parts underwent changes. That is by political. These are to be studied. For any tradition, every tradition, the impact of socio-cultural, historical factors are there, which utterly changes the Vedic chanting tradition even. Because a new emperor attacks a region and brings it under his control, he imposes everything there. Even the style of chanting of Veda. That is, cultural studies also be correlated with Vedic studies or similar systems of. So, in the Kaudhuma style of Maharashtra and other places underwent many changes, which is called Navina Kaudhuma. So, the original pristine, pure Prajina Kaudhuma was in the village of Pudukkode. The great scholar Pudukkode, Gopalavadhyar, was the last expert in the tradition, which is now not continuing. The Navina is now practiced in the states like Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Andhra. So this has been this significant point has been brought out by Professor Dr. K.G. Paulos, who did hard work to preserve the Sāmaveda tradition of Kerala, Jaiminīya Sāmaveda, which we will come in the series in the following lectures. Paulos was the registrar of Sankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kalady, and after that, Vice Chancellor of Kerala Kalamandalam. And he was the tool for the preservation of the complete Sāmaveda, Jaiminīya Sāmaveda of Nambudiris of Kerala in 95 hours. Extremely thanked to him. When the Sankaracharya University was started, myself was recruited there as a reader in Sahitya, and the office, the Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, and Registrar, Dr. N.P. Unni, Dr. NVP Unitiri, and Dr. K.G. Paulos, who were very enthusiastic and with a great vision. They established a school of Vedic studies there. And as the project of School of Vedic Studies, they decided to preserve the Jaiminīya Sāma tradition of Kerala, which was entrusted to me, who was given the charge of the School of Vedic Studies. Now, the Professor K.G. Paulos, his article, Vedic Studies in Kerala. Here I have given that in the reference Kadavallur Anyunyam Silver Jubilee Seminar, Kadavallur Anyunya Parishats, 2014. Now my latest work in 100 monograph in 100 pages on Thrissur Brahmaswam Madham, I have given this article as appendix. You can read that and how this particular rare, vanishing or now vanished, now extinct Prajina Kaudhuma tradition was located by Dr. Paulos. It is well written there. So this is one endangered tradition of Sama in Kerala. Only preserved was preserved in Kerala, now not at all in practice. So this is how the knowledge system, our knowledge systems are there. We have to take acute care, at least whatever we can do, preserve any branch, any knowledge system that is going to be extinct with all our effort. The structure of the text and division of chapters of Kaudhuma and Ranayaniya recensions are almost similar. The text in these recensions are divided into three, namely Purvarchika or Chandarchika, Mahanamnyarchika, and Uttararchika. The division of chapters in Kauthoma and Ranayaniya, generally. Purvarchika is again divided into 4 kandas according to the deities invoked and practiced, namely Agneya, according to the deities Agneya, Agni, Indra, Pavamana, and Aranya. Uttararchika is again designed codifying the rigs according to the rituals related to the performance of yagas. The rigs in the Uttararchika are arranged in trios or trichas, three. There are only 10 rigs in the Mahanamnyarchika, which is found in between Purvarchika and Uttararchika. Each kanda is a general division of Kauthoma and Ranayaniya. Each kanda in the Purvarchika of Kauthoma and Ranayaniya recensions is again divided into Prapataka, Ardha Prapataka, and Deshati. Deshati, collection of 10 rigs, Desha. In the Purvarchika, there are 640 mantras included in 4 kandas. These mantras are distributed in 6 Prapatakas, 13 Ardha Prapatakas, and 64 Deshatis. 10 mantras of Mahanamnyarchika is attached to the Purvarchika as another Deshati. Unit of 10. Uttararchika is also divided into Prapatakas, Ardha Prapatakas, and Suktas, and Riks. Deshati type of division is not found in Uttararchika. There are a total of 1,225 Riks in Uttararchika, which are distributed in 9 Prapatakas and 22 Ardha Prapatakas. Thus, the total number of mantras in Kauthoma Ranayaniya recension becomes 1,875. All these are in the article in my collection. Mantras in Agneya, Indra, and Pavamana, 585. Mantras Aranyakanda, 55. Mantras in Mahanamnyarchika, 10. Mantras in Uttararchika, 1225, total 1875. In the Ganas, 1197 Grama Ganas, 294 Aranya Ganas, 1026 Uha Ganas, and 205 Uhya Ganas. This is reference Sāmaveda with Hindi commentary edited by Damodar Sattuvalekar. Swadhyaya Mandal, Surat, 1963. Compared to the Kauthoma Ranayaniya recensions, Jaiminīya recension has 1698 riks or mantras. These riks are divided into 5 kandas in 112 adhyayas. The kandas in Jaiminīya recension are Agneya, according to the names of the gods invoked: Agneya, Indra, Pavamana, Dvadashaha, and Uttara. First 3 kandas contain riks praising the deities Agni, Indra, and Pavamana, respectively. The mantras in the kandas 4 and 5 are related to various yaga rituals. The mantras distributed in the kandas and adhyayas of Jaiminīya recension again. Kandas Agneya 12, 1 to 12, 116 Indra, 36, 13 to 48, 352, Pavamana 11, 49 to 59, 119, Dvadashaha 47, 60 to 106, 757, Uttara 06, 107 to 112, 354, total 1698. Is my mathematics correct? I think. You check. If it is no wrong, please. Okay. Then Dr. Raghuvira has edited and published Jaiminīya Sāmaveda from Lahore in 1938. Only one edition of Jaiminīya Sāmaveda, 19 Now 3-4 editions have come. Referring that, I will conclude this lecture this day. Raghuvira has brought out an edition of Jaiminīya Sāmaveda in 1938. But the arrangement of the text and the arrangement of mantras of Jaiminīya Sama of Kerala Namboodiris have some difference when compared to the Jaiminīya Sāmaveda Sama edited and published by Dr. Raghuvira. The Jaiminīya recension of Kerala Namboodiris was not printed till very recent times. It was remaining in transcript form in the collection of the Sama Pandits of Panyal village of Kerala. Dr. K.A. Ravindran, who is now the HOD of Sanskrit Sahitya and the in charge of Vedic studies there, brought out the first edition of the Jaiminīya Sama of Kerala Namboodiris in Malayalam script with exhaustive study. Dr. K.A. Ravindran, exhaustive study and introduction in Malayalam from Panjangam Pustakashala, Kunnangulam, Thrissur, Kerala in 2007. So you see, after 1938, another edition coming in 2007 only. There are so many works to be done like this. Later it was published from Center for Vedic Studies, Sree Sankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kalady, Kerala, jointly edited by myself and Dr. K.E. Ravindran in 2014. Second edition. The edition contains the text in Nagari script and English translation and simple English transliteration, and simple English translation of the mantras. Dr. K.A. Ravindran, second edition. All from Kerala, Kerala Jaiminīya Sama editions. Again, Dr. K.A. Ravindran has edited the text of Kerala Jaiminīya Sāmaveda with Archika, Sama and Chandra Sama portions in 2 volumes as part of a project of National Mission for Manuscripts, NMM, IGNCA, New Delhi, which was also published from NMM in 2014. So 1 Malayalam edition and 2 editions in Nagari script with English translation. Then I am concluding within 5 minutes this part. The oral Ghana tradition of Sāmaveda is very unique, elaborate and musical. The oral chanting method slightly changes with each of the existing shakas, Jaiminīya, Kauthuma and Rānayaniya. Again, the chanting tradition and the swaras and the peculiarities of accents change according to each region. It is very famous that Vedanam Sāmavedosmi in the Bhagavad Gita, the most important aspect of each is God. So, Bhagavan Krishna is Samaveda among Vedas. So, that shows the importance of Samaveda among the Vedas because it is highly musical and soothing. All the 5, 6, 7 derivations we have done to denote the uniqueness. So, Samaveda itself is unique. Its chanting is unique. Its Ghana pattern is unique. Swara pattern is unique. Accent unique. Kerala Namboodiris have a particular way of chanting of Samaveda which is not found in other places. Namboodirī Samaveda chanting, which has been recorded, audio, video, medium. The same Jaiminīya tradition of Tamil Brahmins settled in Kerala at Kodunthirappilli village near Palakkad. Jaiminīya tradition is there in Kerala itself near Palakkad, followed by the Tamil Brahmins settled there. The Swara pattern is different. Where I refer to in the earlier pages, Thiruvenkadanatha Sharma, very aged scholar whose descendants are there even now. So with minor differences from that of the Jaiminīya tradition of Tamil Brahmin settled in Tamil Nadu. So Kerala Nambudiri tradition, unique, separate. Tamil tradition, Jaiminīya tradition settled in Tamil Nadu, separate. Tamil Jaiminīya tradition settled in Kerala, still different. So this is the variety, multiplicity, and all we should document and then study related to. I have done some work which we will discuss in the coming lectures. So, regional cultures, social environments, historical aspects, accentuation, food habits, and the like. Even food habits are the reasons for the change. Now, when you people coming from Japan speak English, we cannot understand immediately. You cannot understand our accent and phonetics. So this is very natural. Word may be the same, but there will be difference in accentuation, pronunciation, etc. That is due to so many reasons: and social, cultural, historical, food habits, even climate, everything. So that is there. This is found in the chanting of Sāmaveda also. The Prachina Kauthoma retaining its original tradition in its pristine purity in the Pudukkod village near Palakkad, and the same subjected to change in Maharashtra in other regions, as noted above, are the best examples for these tendencies, difference. But the common and most important factor related to the Ghana tradition of Samaveda in general, total Kausumo va, Pranayaniyo va, Jaiminīyo va, Samanata kutra vartate. General is invariably found in all these shakhas, in all parts of India, in all stages of development and evolution. This is the close relationship with the music tradition of India. This is the close relation of the Jaiminīya. Maybe maybe Jaiminīya, Kauthuma, or Ranayaniya, maybe of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, or Tamil Nadu settled in whatever it may be. There is a general attractive feature, the musical aspect. This is the close relationship with the music tradition of India, especially classical music. Very important. All the 7 swaras of classical music are found used. Nishadarishapagandhara, 7 swaras are found and used in its primitive form, not in its developed form. In its primitive form, in the Sama chanting, there are words, technical words: Krushta, Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturtha, Mandira, Atiswara. In classical music, Nishadrisha Bhagandhara, Madhyama Daipada. But here, not the same, but almost the same in the primitive form. Much research has to be done in all these aspects. If you are energetic, interested, you can undertake very, very important things. These are the Krushta, Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturtha, Mandira, and Adiswara are the names of the 7 swaras used in Sama chanting. In Rikka Yajus, those swaras are there, though swaras are there, Data and Data Swarida. these words are not used specifically, which gives the feeling that they are related to classical music notes. Krushta is the swara in its highest pitch. I am not expert in music, so I cannot sing and demonstrate to you. Krushta is the swara in its highest pitch. Tritiya swara is considered as the basic swara, Ardha, Adhara swara. All these are in classical music. Adhara swaram as classical music in classical music. And it is also known as Dhrishta Prachya. Naradiya Shiksha, the Shiksha text of Samaveda, states that the 7 swaras of Sama, Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturtha, Mandira, Krushta, and Atiswara, and respectively the 7 swaras of classical music, Madhyama, Gandhara, Rishabha, Shadja, Daivada, Nishada, and Panchama. Prathamascha, Dvitiyascha, Tridiyotha, Chaturthaka, Mandira Krushto, Hyatiswara, Edan Kurvanti Samagaha. Mean generally. Yes, Samaganam Prathama Sa Venor Madhyamaswara. The Prathamaswara of Samagana is the Madhyamaswara of classical music. Venu means classical music. Yo Dvidiya Sa Gandhara, Venu ho Gandhara. Tridiyastu Rishabha, Venu ho Rishabha. Chaturtha of Samaveda, Shadja of classical music. Ityahu, Panjamo Daivato Bhave, Shashto Nishada, Vijnaya, Saptama, Panjama Smrta. You see what possibility. Thus, the oral Gana tradition of Sama chanting is related to classical music in many ways. Close relationship of Sama chanting with music is highlighted by many earlier scholars in their authoritative statements. Some examples are given. Samabhyo Gitamevacha. In Natyashastra, Yagraha Pathya Mrgvedal. Not written here. The 11th line is only. Yagraha Pathya Mrgvedal. Samabhyo Gitamevacha. Yajurvedad Abhinayan Rasan Atharvanadabi. Samavedal Swaro Yata. Swarebhyo Grama Sambhava. Brihadeshi. Matangamuni's Brihadeshi is a very important text on theory of classical music. Samaveda Didam Geetam Sanjagraha Pidamaha. Sangeeta Ratnagara, another very authoritative work on Sangeeta. Saptaswarastu Giyante Samabhis Samagair Budhaihi Mandukya Shiksha. It is taking into consideration this musical importance of Samaveda that in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna identifies himself with Samaveda among the 4 Vedas. Vedanam Samavedosmi. Now concluding. Earlier commentaries of Samaveda before Sayana, like Madhava, Bharadaswami, and Gunavishnu are referred to by different acharyas in various texts. But such commentaries are not getting now, before Sayana. Like for other Vedas, Sayana has written commentary on Samaveda also for Kauthuma recension. Mainly based on Sayana, many commentaries and translations were written for Samaveda, both by Eastern and Western scholars in 19th and 20th centuries, which is continuing even now. Commentary on Samaveda in English was written by Dr. Stevenson, which was published by Professor Wilson in 1842. In 1848, Professor Benfey published Samaveda with the first English translation in verse. Based on this, Professor Griffith also wrote an English translation in verse for Samaveda. among the total number of rigs in Samaveda, except more than 100, are those found in Rigveda. Only 100 not found in Rigveda. All other. So what is the difference between Rigveda and Samaveda? The mantras are in the Swara pattern of music. Only that difference. Dr. K. A. Ravindran in his work Samaveda Darpanam has given in detail the rigs found in both the Jaiminīya and Gauthama recensions of Samaveda that are not found in Rigveda with their Malayalam translation. Because most of the rigs of Samaveda are those found in Rigveda, the commentaries, translations, and studies on Rigveda, especially of rigs in it found in Samaveda, can also be made use for their study and analysis. Then I have given the list of Samaveda editions. Samaveda Bhashyam with the text of Sama and Hindi commentary named Bhagavati by Paramahamsa Jagadishwarananda Saraswati, Samskar Prakashan, Delhi, 1996. Samaveda Samhita with the text and English translation by Griffith, R.T.H. Griffith. Revised edition by Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya, Parimal Publication, Delhi. Samaveda Samhita with the text and English translation by Devi Chand Munshram Manohar Lal, Delhi, 95. Samaveda Samhita with the text and English translation again Griffith, Nag Publishers, Delhi, 91. Samaveda Samhita with text and English translation S.V. Ganapati, Motilal Banarsi Das, Delhi, 92. Samaveda with English translation in verse Griffith. No Sanskrit text included. Munshra Manohar Lal, Delhi, 1995. Samaveda Samhita with the text with the Sanskrit commentary named Sama Samskaram by Swami Bhagavacharya, Chaukamba, Publications, Varanasi, 2002, 2 volumes. Samaveda text with Hindi commentary by Sree Damodar Satwalekar, named Subodh, Swadhyaya Mandal, Surat, 63. Samaveda with English translation in prose by B.R. Kishore, Diamond Pocket Books Private Limited, Delhi, 2002. No Sanskrit text included. Jaiminīya Samaveda with text only Rigveda, 1932, referred to earlier. Samaveda with the text in Malayalam by Malayalam. Script and translation in prose in Malayalam, D. Sriman Nambudiri. Vidyarthimitram Press Kottayam. Samaveda Darpanam Ravindran referred to earlier. K. A. Ravindran. Then Jaiminīya Samaveda, myself and Ravindran edited from Sankaracharya University, referred to earlier. Samaveda by Dr. K. A. Ravindran from NMM, IGNCA, Delhi, referred to again. The list is not exhaustive, maybe other editions also. All translations and studies that are published in different regional languages naturally have not been included in this list. So with this presentation, I conclude the first part of the series of Samaveda itself. Maybe second part surely, maybe sometimes third part also if Devahar permits me. Thank you. Devahar and Olga.
Thank you, Neelakandhan sir, for a wonderful lecture on Jaiminīya Samaveda. So it's time for discussion. So I would like to invite scholars who are online. Please raise your questions. Olga, you can start maybe, or you can, if you have any question, you can start. then maybe we can move to offline scholars. Do you have any questions? Please.
Anyone of you?
Yes, thank you for your interesting lecture. So maybe generally we cannot study the local Vedic tradition in Japan. So it's a great experience for us. Thank you so much. So I have a very easy question. So if we want to know about musical aspect of Samaveda, can we get a knowledge from the commentaries or from text, or we can get knowledge only from the local scholars located in India? So which we can.
From commentary, what happens is the meaning aspect only we can understand from commentary. Though that is a very difficult aspect regarding the oral tradition. So we are also in worry in one way or other, because the actual chanting, that is a live tradition. Live tradition. We can record it. Actually, we have recorded whatever we could record, audio, video, medium. But what happens is that is there. But again, the live tradition, which has genetically and what we say biologically, its originality, and that we will be losing. It's a great thing. So only thing is that we should have concern on all these things, and whatever we can do in our life, limited 70 years or 80 years, whatever we can do, we should do. Only that we can say, because many such very valuable traditions have lost, no doubt, because it is a destiny of our universe setup. But if we try, we can save something, because particularly the modern technology we have. So we must try. We should try.
Adam, do you have any questions? Adam Clark.
Hello. Thank you very much indeed for this, very valuable and fascinating research and presentation. In terms of the when you were giving numerous examples during the presentation of the different derivative meanings of Sama, and giving examples of various different explanations of the term. And I just wondered whether you had any little comments as to how the tradition, or now even, if you were to weigh up, whether you just take it as a variety. These are all various ways of drawing out different aspects of the meaning of the term. So do you take it just as a variety, or do you have what's the methodology, if you like, for determining which is preferable, which is a preferable explanation of one over the other? Thank you.
The different meanings I have explained for the word Sama. That is actually given from different interpreters, commentaries, and as we understand it, they are all applicable to different aspects of Sama. So began soothing, then protecting, all these meanings, I think we can take into account and accept in different aspects. Am I clear?
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone have? We have any questions?
संस्कृतेनैव प्रश्नं करोमि भूयो धन्यवादः भवत् व्याख्यानाय उत्कृष्टाय विस्तराय सफलाय तत्र मम प्रश्नः लघुप्रश्नः जैमिनीयपदविषये अस्ति तत्र जैमिनीय इति उक्ते जैमिनेः इदं जैमिनेः सम्प्रदाय अथवा जैमिनिसम्बन्धि इदम् इति सामान्यतः प्रतीयते तत्र भारते च संस्कृतशास्त्रे च जैमिनि इति नाम प्रसिद्धं मीमांसासूत्रस्य कर्तृत्वेन वर्तते वा तर्हि जैमिनीय वेदशाखा इति उक्ते इति तत्र जैमिनि कः अर्थः अथवा पुनरपि जैमिनीयः कः पदार्थः केरल सामवेद प्रसादम्
भवतः प्रश्नः अतीव कौतुककरः तत्र पतञ्जलि इति नाम प्रसिद्धं खलु पतञ्जलि इति नाम्ना प्रसिद्धः महाभाष्यकारः पतञ्जलिः वर्तते तथा वाक्यपदीयकारः पतञ्जलिश्च कः पतञ्जलि इति एतादृशविषयेषु अस्माभिः व्यक्ततया सम्पूर्णतया वक्तुं न शक्यते जैमिनिश्च तत्र सामवेदस्य उद्घाटकः प्रवाचकः इति व्यासेन सः निर्दिष्टः इति प्रसिद्धः स एव भवेत् जैमिनिसूत्रस्यापि कर्ता अस्माभिः सम्यक् सम्पूर्णतया सम्यक्ततया वक्तुं न शक्यते एवमेव मुरारिः इति प्रसिद्धः वर्तते किल मुरारिः इति अनर्घराघवनाटकस्य कर्ता वर्तते मुरारेः तृतीयपन्था इति मीमांसाशाखेऽपि मुरारी अत्र स्यात् समानता एक एव उभावपि एक एव स्यात् इत्येव वक्तुं शक्यते इति मन्ये भवतां प्रश्नः कौतुककरः
Sir, I have a question. This Prajina Gauthama version is still extant or already lost? Because you already mentioned that this Palakkad region, they have some lineage of Prajina Gauthama. It's still there or they are now using Navina Gauthama?
Now, I have explained in my paper, Prachina Gauthama is not at all existing now. The last scholar in the lineage, in the Gopalavadya, is not now. He has gone to heaven. And he could not give that knowledge to any of his Shishyas. Because as you know, in the modern time, no one will be willing to undertake hardships to study Veda, etc. So, we have the audio cassette of some hours only, but we can only hear that. Even our Sankaracharya University cassette is helpful because the scholars now remaining in Kerala, Jaiminīya, Shivakaran and Krishnan, if they try hard with the audio video CDs, they can regain the tradition because they have that capacity. I think they will do. They are doing that. Even that possibility is not there for the Prachina Gauthama.
So in Palakkad now they are practicing Navina Gauthama, right?
in that village, the tradition is lost. Oh,
Nobody is there.
nobody is. Now that is happening in every place. In Raghapuram, there was in many Kerala, in many settlements, there was Yajurveda, Tiruvalla, Raghapuram. Raghapuram, they are trying to regain it. In many other places, in many places, in Karikad, no, in Karikad, no Yajurveda tradition. They are all Yajurvedis actually. There were groups or places where or families where Yajurveda was taught. Because this institution is here, Rigveda survived.
Oh, in Kerala, only Panyal.
Actually, that I will explain the next series. There were 21 families, according to our knowledge. There were 21 families of Sāmavedins in Kerala from 7th century, 8th century onwards. And Panyal has a settlement of 5 families together. That is the importance of Panyal. In Kottayam, Malamel, Kallambulli, they are all Sāmavedins. Then Muthirinyottamanai Sāmaved, Chitran Namboodiripad, Mukutala, Chitran Namboodiripad. His family is Sāmavedi. So there are 21 families, according to our knowledge in Kerala, Jaiminīya Sāmaveda, Namboodiris. But 5 settlements together we find in Panyal. That is the importance.
Is there any other questions? Anybody in online? Madam, please.
Oh, hi. In one of the definitions you gave of Sama, one of the definitions given was that it was painful, quote, painful to learn, and I just wondered whether you had any little comments regarding the process of learning, how long it takes, and any specific any specific challenges, if you like, with this particular Samaveda preservation tradition compared to the other Vedas and the other disciplines. Thank you.
That is very interesting. The derivation, the meaning painful, it is given by the scholars. And actually the learning of Sama is very difficult. That is how it is applied there. And whatever pain I have taken for recording for about 3 years, it is very painful, and I will give a brief account of in my next series. Very painful, very difficult it was. I will give an brief explanation of that. Thank you.
So if there are no more questions, then maybe there's one question.
Chat box.
A question from Kiran Sambat. Are there any plans to publish the text of the Uha and Rahasya Ganas of the Jaiminīya Sāmaveda regarding the actual number of Samans, even Uha and Rahasya Ganas of Jaiminīya Sāmaveda, there are many conflicting sources.
Actually, in the next series, I will explain only 25 Samastutis used in Somayaga and Atiratra were documented as part of the audio-video documentation of Jaiminīya Sāmaveda of Kerala by the Sankaracharya University. The whole text, these Samastutis are in Uha and Ushani modes, the highest modes of Kerala Jaiminīya chanting. these the first phase 75 hours we recorded the Archika, Samagana, and Chandra Sama. First 3 levels of chanting. First 3 modes of chanting. Uha and Ushani, 25 stutis, Sama stutis used in Somayaga and Adrayatra, we documented in Uha and Ushani. Now the question remains there. Even the other, actually the whole Sama is chanted in Uha and Ushani according to Kerala tradition. It will take how many hours we have not counted. So that work we have yet to do. In the same way, now myself and Ravindran has brought out the Jaiminīya text of Kerala version along with the audio video CDs or hard disks from Sankaracharya University and an independent text of Sāmaveda, Dr. Ravindran himself from NMM IGNCA. Actually, we have in our mind to notate the whole Swara pattern of Sāmaveda with the musical scales. I think your curiosity will be, we cannot publish that because it cannot be written and published. It can be notated only. And notation also in dance, etc. I have my PhD thesis with notations, 2-dimension notations, 3-dimension, 2-dimension width and breadth we can do, 3-dimension turning the head, how we can notate. But there are methods I think we can evolve. But the difficulty is that who will do that? How, what amount of hardship and arrangement and expertise is needed for that. I have also wished to do that, only I can say. And I wish someone in our younger generation will take up such hardships. Thank you.
Is there any questions? So if no, then I would like to invite Sudhanjali for a vote of thanks.
Respected speaker, esteemed scholars from Japan, colleagues and others. The lecture series titled Jaiminīya Tradition of Sāmaveda in Kerala, Overview of an Endangered Tradition by Dr. C.M. Neelakandhan has consisted of 4 sessions, the first of which is today's program. I extended my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for being part of this enriching lecture session. I offer my sincere thanks to Dr. C.M. Neelakandhan for his illuminating the thought-provoking presentation. His deep scholarship has enabled us to appreciate the uniqueness and significance of the Sāmaveda. I would also like to express my special appreciation to our distinguished scholars from Japan, whose presence and engagement have added an invaluable international dimension to this discussion. Your interest and contributions highlight the global relevance of preserving ancient knowledge systems. My thanks also go to the organizers for curating such a meaningful academic platform and to all participants whose active involvement made this session truly memorable. Let us take forward the insights gained today and work collectively toward safeguarding this precious tradition for future generations. Thank you all once again. Namaskar.